is this?
That attack on the train in Charlotte was an absolute tragedy that sadly was avoidable. As first, the media tried to outright ignore it, but now they're blaming everything but the murderer, ensuring this will happen again. As a full video is too hard to watch, where Ukrainian war
That's
refugee
right.
Irina
So this Ukrainian war refugee that escaped war sat down on a train. We covered a little bit of this a couple days ago. And she ended up getting killed by a homeless person.
Zarutska gets off her shift from a pizzeria, only to be randomly murdered by this man. And for days,
The woman survived. She survived the war, and she got killed by a fucking homeless person.
the mainstream media just pretended
Yeah, Elon Musk called their bullshit out, too.
it didn't happen. But after the video went viral, their reporting tried to make it about MAGA, stating, MAGA influencers are drawing repeated attention to violent attacks, also blaming the rising number of surveillance cameras in public spaces, since the videos are easily shared or leaked, creating a visual counterpoint to how crime is in fact decreasing. And in that insane Axios article, these contradictory statements are back to back, saying
Yes,
all
of course.
reporting says
Oh
crime
no,
is
because
down.
they're not
It's
trying to make Trump to look like a good guy. Where did this even happen? Where did this stabbing happen? Because I think they're going to Chicago next, right? Was that in Chicago? Where did the person get stabbed at by the homeless guy? It's a Ukrainian refugee, North Carolina. It happened in North Carolina.
these videos that are causing people to question our bogus stats. But then you see CNN coming in leading with the light rail and how she's a Ukrainian refugee, not the actual murderer, known for his long criminal history.
Look at that. Another person that got released
Ukrainian
with
refugee.
a freaking criminal history longer than any damn laundry list you'll ever see in your entire life. Why do you keep letting these people out? It's like whenever we was watching that one video yesterday where that guy got lit up in that goddamn truck. Big fucking surprise, you keep letting these people out that have criminal histories taller than me. Why do you keep doing this?
Not the actual
Look
murderer.
at that. Look.
Known for his long criminal history, where they don't even refer to as a killing.
But remember, it's just because they're homeless. It's just because they're homeless. We don't want to get the homeless people up off the streets. That'd be awful.
Or attack, just Zarutska.
He's homeless for a reason. It's because he can't get a job because he's a felon.
Death, and how their mayor doesn't want to villainize the murderer.
It's so random, too. Out of everyone there, why did that guy go out of his way to kill her? Just her specifically.
As the unhoused that struggle with mental health are more frequently the victims themselves. With her other statement being, we will never arrest our way out of homelessness and mental health. Capping
It seemed to work just fine for DC. The crime rate there is fucking plummeted. People are able to go to the parks without fear of being shot. Big surprise. You know, there was a country where, hold on. This is a real thing, by the way. Hold on. What country did the president of it end up killing or putting in jail all of the gang members because something happened to one of his family members? So this guy, it was El Salvador, cleaned up El Salvador in a matter of weeks after he got elected as president. He arrested he went through and cleaned up El Salvador. He arrested every single gang member. And sure, he arrested some innocent people. But let me tell you something. What he did got him reelected in prison. You know why? Because people were able to live without fear of being shot or interrogated or oppressed by the gang members anymore. big surprise, if you put these fucking people either in jail or in the dirt, things change. It's kind of crazy how the only thing that's changed between us in the past 1,000 years is the fact that for whatever reason we don't deal with this anymore. If you were a thief back in the day, you had your fucking hands cut off. You got branded a thief. If you were a pirate, you got branded a fucking pirate. You got hung. And now you go out and kill somebody and you get weekend jail. It's ridiculous.
Off with her worst take, thanking her media partners for not sharing the footage, saying she's heartbroken, then rambling about what safety looks like in her city. Safety in Charlotte starts with her resignation, as the only response should be...
And it's the same thing with all of these fucking mayors, too. They all say the same thing. Well, we're not gonna let ICE come into our city, and we're not gonna let the National Guard come into our city. Okay, they're bringing the U.S. military, remove these mayors by force, and charge them with fucking treason, because they're getting innocent people killed.
An insane individual like this allowed to walk our streets after accruing a long criminal history like his.
Exactly. And it's happened so much.
Influencers, homeless outreach, and video reposts do absolutely nothing to protect the citizens from murderers.
Thank you.
With the local
Bro, you're absolutely based. Check out Decoy Voice. Bro's legendary. Check him out.
Media reporting how the judge ordered the accused killer to undergo a competency evaluation as he has passed.
Bro, he's already trying to get this sick psycho out of jail. He's trying to undergo a competency evaluation so that way they can use insanity or just the fact that he's not all there to release him and put him back out on the street. That's literally what's happening.
Armed robbery, felony larceny, and much more.
You bring back mental asylums and them trying to run people through just to get them back out onto the street stops. Because if they tried this with mental asylums still intact, they would run through it. They would run through this process and then send them to the asylum.
Wondering what judge would let an individual like this free, and should they be held equally accountable for the murder?
I absolutely think they should be. They absolutely should be. Especially with a laundry list of crimes like what he had. No, they should absolutely be held accountable. They should go through that guy's record and find every judge that let them out and charge them with every crime that person's done.
And this is unconfirmed, so for now, all blurred.
At some point, you have to hold these people accountable for their own crimes that they're committing.
But it seems the original appointed judge hasn't even passed their bar exam, as they're simultaneously the director of Second Chance Services.
There it is.
Which would be a major conflict of interest if the judge in charge of sentencing homeless criminals was overturning their convictions to send them to a mental health clinic that she was the director of. I think it's a stretch to try to convict her in connection with the killing, but I definitely think if she's sacrificing public safety to funnel herself taxpayer funds, she needs to be charged with something. But they can't get away with it without the assistance of the media, where CNN's fluff piece about murder is concluded with large blocks of text saying how proud the police chief is on their decreasing crime rates. People pointing out how the AP seems to have...
It's all fake. It's all fucking fake. You know what decreases crime? Putting these people in jail or in the dirt. That's what decreases crime. That's how you decrease crime.
Largely ignored the story, with the New York Times doing the same selective reporting. And even left-wing Wikipedia is looking to delete the entire article regarding the murder. It's insane to think if Elon never purchased X, we likely wouldn't even know about this story.
Exactly. That's the sad part. You can sit here and call these people whatever you want, but at the end of the day, they're not the ones trying to cover stuff up.
Now that we do, it's also uncovering how liberal policies not only allowed it to occur, but is actually actively trying to make it more common.
That's right.
As if you're wondering why nobody stepped in to try to save her. New York City's case against Daniel Penny is the perfect example why people won't step in. And a year after that, NYC definitely saw the effects of this. And in case you haven't seen that video, the brief synopsis is, a popular TikTok influencer randomly got attacked in the streets of New York City. Her story trended online, and dozens of girls talked about being attacked by the same man, only to find that he has a history of recording himself attacking women. He gets arrested, but is immediately let out. But
Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Come on!
Worst part is, there was more than one attacker with that same exact description, with the NYPD actively trying to make it as difficult as possible for these ladies to press charges. And a year after that, nothing has changed in New York City.
I had to get off the train, past my stop, because there was a guy who was following me from car to car. New York City is not safe. It's not safe for women, okay?
Except that their likely new mayor will only
Oh
make
man, look at that. I wonder why he's where he's at. Look at those rings, man. Look at how much money this fucker has. Look at that. That's crazy.
worse.
The jail population of Rikers has increased since Eric Adams has come.
Okay, yeah, it's because there's more people doing. If it doesn't matter how big the jail population is, if they do a fucking crime, put them in jail. I don't care what race, nationality, fucking religion. I don't give a shit if the motherfucker's Barney. If the bro stabs somebody to death, he needs to go to jail. Fuck this shit. Put these people where they belong, bro. You do a crime and the jail's full? Well, I guess you're gonna have to bring back the death penalty. That's all there is to it. Make some fucking labor camps. If you're in jail for life, it's time to bring back slavery. Shit. I don't give a fuck what color they are. You go out and you kill somebody and you can't be trusted to be with the general population and you're gonna serve a life sentence. It's time to put in some manual fucking labor. Enough of this. Enough babying these fucking murderers and these rapists. Enough. If they were supposed to be out with the generalized population, they wouldn't have done what they did.
That we can reduce that jail population to less than 4,000. I mean,
Why? What does that accomplish? What does reducing jail population accomplish? You just put the people that should be there back out in the general population. What does that solve? Nothing.
An article about a number of different proposals that could reduce it to 3,700.
But as long as the media...
You know how you can reduce it to zero? Not having jail.
Write articles championing how crime rates are down, idiots will keep leaning into this ideology that will ultimately lead to their demise. As we know, there is basically one specific demographic that the Democrats still completely own, that sadly seems to be the same group that suffers the most. So even when President Trump responds to this murder, trying to prevent it from happening again...
And there was also a horrible killing recently in Charlotte, I talked about, and so many others, and we will... we're going to get to the end of it, and you know, when you have horrible killings, you have to take horrible actions. Cashless bail started a wave in our country where a killer kills somebody and is out on the street by the afternoon. In many cases, going out and killing again.
Yep.
CNN can't help but again make it about race.
Trump-aligned figures
Oh.
succeeded in making this senseless death a symbol of big city crime. We heard President Trump asked about it yesterday when he was heading home from New York City. He didn't seem to know much about it. I have to say, some of the replies to Musk, some of the comments...
You know why? Because he didn't see a murderer and think of their race. He saw a murderer and saw a fucking murderer. Big surprise if your head's not in the fucking race game every single time something happens. You'd be surprised at what you see whenever you look inside and see the big picture. You know what I'm saying? There's an overarching view that you've got to ascend to, and I guess these dumbasses are just too stupid to get there.
Comments around this story are baldly racist, stoking fear of African Americans because this man...
That's not what he said. Maybe you should go back and listen to what he said, guy.
White woman.
Why can't CNN simply
Look,
come out-
I've said this many times. I'm not a fan of Trump, but he is our president. I didn't vote for the fucking guy. But if you're going to take things out of context on what you think he said, that's on you. When you get embarrassed by the internet because they're calling you out on your bullshit, that's on you. That's your fault, bro.
and say, hey, murder is bad. End of sentence.
Thank
and
you.
stop trying to editorialize everything as, yes, that attack was bad, but let's talk about the real issue, racist MAGA. When the actual issue should be, why wasn't this guy locked up long ago? And should the judges that refuse to follow through with the law be held accountable for their future crimes? So let me know what you think in the comments. With these stories, I don't necessarily want to promote anything except a genuine discussion on how to fix this.
I agree. Great video. W video, man. Hell yeah. Keep up the great work, Decoy Voice. Hell yeah.